Hey, it's me, Penny. We previously discussed the basic things you need to get your hands on in starting your digital art journey. We mentioned that hardware, like your PC and graphic tablet, is essential in digital art. But, as I said before, if you don't have a graphic tablet, you can stick to drawing digitally with your fingers. In the following videos, we are going to discover the wonderful world of Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is a very popular software used by professional artists. You can manipulate pictures, paint digitally, and even make awesome animations. Listen, if you don't have Photoshop, that is absolutely cool. You can still make amazing digital art. If you want a free alternative, I suggest Krita for Windows or Mac. And if you don't have a laptop or desktop, Ibis Paint X is the one to go for. The point is, nothing's stopping you from creating your art. Plus, the tips we're going to try out will still work for any other digital art software that isn't Photoshop. Alright, let's get into it. The thing you need to do first in all digital art software is to create the file. In the menu bar, which is placed on the upper left side, just click on File, then press New. You will be presented with different canvas sizes at first, but don't feel intimidated. You can try out the presets for your first time. I suggest using A4 or 4x4. An important command you need to learn next is the hand tool. In drawing, it's crucial that you can move your canvas freely, right? The hand tool does that for you. You can find it in the toolbox on your left side with the hand icon. But if you want it as easy as I do, just hold down the space button and move your cursor according to wherever you'd like the canvas to be. Convenient, right? The next important must-know command is the zoom in and zoom out button. Just hold Ctrl then press the plus sign from your keyboard to zoom in. Similarly, hold Ctrl then press the minus sign from your keyboard to zoom out. If you're using Mac, it's basically the same thing, but just hold the command key instead of the control key for Windows. Yay! You got the first part done. Now, you can move your canvas freely and zoom in and out anytime. The next thing you need to know is the toolbox. This vertical shelf at the left-hand side of your screen is called the toolbox. As the name suggests, this portion of Photoshop has all sorts of stuff you need in digital art. We'll go through them later, okay? Now, let's talk about interface. Interface is what you're seeing when you open Photoshop. This whole thing in front of your screen with different areas and commands? Yep, that's the interface. This tutorial will not cover the intermediate aspects of the interface, but it should be enough for you to catch up on the nitty-gritty side of most art software out there. Starting off with the document window, this is the largest area in the interface because this is where your canvas is going to be displayed. Next up is the document tab. This portion has the name and the file type of the document you're working with, and it also shows the current zoom level. This comes in handy when you're working with multiple documents and want to move from one to another. And then, we have the menu bar. This can be located at the very top of Photoshop's interface. We can find various commands here, but the most important ones are the File, Layer, and Filter menu. The File menu is for opening, closing, and saving documents. You can also export images using the File menu. So yeah, it's pretty useful. The next basic option under the menu bar is the Layer menu. As I mentioned before, layers are everything in digital art. So with this feature, you can duplicate your layers and modify them to your liking. As you become a better Photoshop user, you'll realize how great layer options are. Next up is the Panels command. This is located at the right corner of the interface. I know there's a lot to see in this portion, and you're right. Panels give us access to many commands and options like the gradients, colors, and patterns. We're not going to go there, because we are going to focus on the more important portion, the panel groups. Under panels, you'll see that the lower side has three options, which are the layers, channels, and paths. For now, let's focus on the thing that matters the most, layers. Layers are important because they can let you add components or elements one at a time without affecting your original drawing. This makes the process of sketching to doing your line art 10 times easier. So, keep an eye on this feature because you're going to use it a lot. You'll first notice that the background layer is locked. It's locked for a purpose because it serves as your actual canvas. The background layer can't do features like transparency, and that's because it's the mother of all layers. I highly suggest that you don't touch the background layer as it can lead to complications when rendering. So, add another layer instead. How can you add another layer? At the lower portion of the layers area, you can see the plus sign enclosed in the square. Yep, click on that and voila! You have a fresh layer. Deleting layers is also easy. Just click on the trash bin icon next to it. Finally, let's talk about workspaces. You can spot this at the upper right portion of your interface, next to the search button that happens to look like a magnifying glass. Found it? Good. Let's talk about what it's for. A workspace is a Photoshop preset that consists of different arrangements of various interface elements to fit your activity. We have different workspaces, like painting, 3D, graphic and web, and photography. So, which one should you go for? Photoshop's default workspace is Essentials. From its name, we can tell that this preset should have all the basic arrangements we need for just about any activity. And that's why I'd personally choose Essentials as a workspace if you're still starting out. It's easy to understand and it's just, well, not overwhelming to work with. However, if you want a more expanded version of the Essentials workspace, I highly suggest that you select Painting. I like this workspace because of how easily it grants access to the color selection panel. Just try different workspaces and see which one is the best for you. If you don't like any of the workspace presets, just open the workspace feature and click on New Workspace. Remember, you're the artist. That concludes the first part of our journey to digital art software. Congratulations on making it this far! Catch you in the next video, where I go into more detail regarding the different tools in Photoshop. As always, it's going to be easy. Don't let fancy buttons scare you. Trust me, once you learn the tools, everything is just a piece of cake. See you in the next episode, and stay creative!